Hi guys, welcome to this video which is about the questions which are the two biggest scams on Amazon. In Amazon listings. Two things I'm talking about technical things like gadgets and yeah, these things. So what are the two biggest scams on Amazon? I'm not talking about brands or specific models. So here I have just a couple of technical items like charger, phone, camera, action camera, power bank, IP camera. Yeah, there are a lot, of course, so many things on Amazon. And as you know, if you're following my channel, you know I have been testing a lot. Dozens or even hundreds of items, and they have two things in common where they usually fail or do not match their listing. These are two things. This is I don't know if it's a surprise, but it is really a common thing. They have almost no exceptions. Two things where most of the manufacturers or sellers are somehow like cheating. Yeah, I have to use this word. I cannot use another word than this. And first thing is the milliampere hours of power banks, whatever it is, like a power bank. If you have it like a standalone power bank on its own, or a jump starter, like a car jump starter, where of course it has an included power bank, or headphones with an included power bank, or whatsoever. When it comes to milliampere hours, I would say at least 90% of the sellers are not writing what the truth actually. Yeah. The problem is probably, it's probably not the sellers, it's probably more the manufacturers. Usually you see that also on the packaging or on the back of the device, when it says like power bank 5000 milliampere hours, 10,000, 20 hours milliampere hours. When you go to eBay, you see even crazier things. Such a power bank would be probably listed with 100,000 milliampere hours, 200,000 milliampere hours. There are crazy things. The numbers are going up and up and up, but the inside of these power banks is still the same since many years. They have not improved, and usually smaller ones, they are really small ones are maybe 2000 milliampere hours, medium size 5000 milliampere hours, and the really big ones like this one, 10,000 milliampere hours, and maybe like car jump starters or really exceptional big things, maybe up to 20 hour milliampere hours. But you have to be really careful, because I would say on average they exaggerate by about 100%. So when something is listed with 20,000 milliampere hours, most of them have only 10,000 milliampere hours. I have a few samples. This one, for example, I'm not going to name any brand names or models. I'm just saying this as an example. After testing, really, I think I have been testing 100 things at least or more, and it is a really common thing. This one here, again, no brand, no name, no nothing, is listed for with 20,000 milliampere hours. It has 10,000 milliampere hours. You can easily measure this with such devices. They are pretty accurate. How do I know that? Because I have some really high quality things which are of course accurate, and the numbers which came out here from these devices were exactly the same. So I have to really assume that these two devices are absolutely accurate. And yeah, here's another thing. Here we have headphones. Hope I can open that. It's a really interesting device. I've tested this lately on my channel. This is some kind of combined power bank with headphones, the idea is really good. They say you can charge the headphones 30 times, 60 times, whatsoever, and you can even charge your mobile phone more than once, or at least once, with only this thing. I mean, yeah, I can take it apart and you can see how small this really is. Yeah, can you believe that it is able to charge a full new iPhone or Samsung Galaxy? Yeah, it's unbelievable. And you're right, yeah, it's not doing it. Instead of the claimed 3,500 milliampere hours, it has only, I've tested this yesterday, it had only 1,300 milliampere hours. I've been trying around with different like consumer settings, like just consuming 0.5 amps or 1 amp or 1.5. Yeah, actually it's not even able to provide 1.5 amps, but I've just been trying with 0.5 and 1 amp where it's already close to the limit of this thing. And with both settings, it's way below the promise what they really claim. Then second thing, yeah, finish with power banks. Next thing is cameras. Cameras like GoPros. I mean, yeah, again, I say like GoPros. I'm not saying it's a bad example. And we have, I would say, more like action cameras. We have the huge field of action cameras. There are hundreds or even thousands of listings on Amazon about action cameras. Then we have IP security cameras. We have a lot of different cameras, and most of them, they claim to have a certain angle. I mean, what's fancy today? Wide angle, super wide angle. I mean, the GoPro was probably the first brand. Here we have the GoPro Hero 7 Black, and they were probably the first ones who came with the really huge wide angle. And it's really fun to make pictures or videos with the GoPro. I can highly recommend it, even when it's expensive, but it has a really nice wide angle. But how much is it really? How much? I mean, when you see the listings of the cheap listings, copycat listings, like for $50, $100, maybe even $150, I mean, they say, yeah, their camera has 160 degrees wide angle, 170 degrees wide angle. Yeah, I'm surprised that's not some coming out and saying they have 180 or 190 degrees angle, even more than halfway around. So it is crazy, but most say at least 160 degrees wide angle. And when you check them, you will find out that it has less a smaller field of view than the GoPro, the latest GoPro. And how much does the GoPro have? The GoPro has only about 120 degrees in the widest settings. Yeah, it doesn't have 160, 170 whatsoever. It has only 120. I mean, it's wide, but it's 120. And most of the sellers, they claim their camera has 160, 170. And when you have them side by side, I mean, you can turn them on, and then you can check what you can see. And you'll find out, like here, you will see that the GoPro has a much wider field of view. I mean, it's easy to test even the real angle. When you take something like this setup here, I put this on the side a little bit. You can take the GoPro, whatever camera you have, you put it in the middle, you have this angle. It starts with 0, goes to 180 degrees. You put something and you just check how far you have to go until you see everything, and then you mark the position at the outside, and then you have the angle. So it's really easy to test, and you can compare it with the GoPro easily. And I have done this already with some cheap action cameras, and they are far away from the widest view of the GoPro. So I would say average action cameras, even when I'm not saying they are really bad, sometimes they have really good stabilization, they have good pictures, but regarding wide angle, an average is, I would say, about 90 degrees, so far away from the 160 degrees which they claim. They're only about 90 degrees on average. I mean, it's super easy. You can test it even easier. You can take like a shoebox and put the camera at the corner and then check out what you see. If you just see the shoebox, yeah, it's 90 degrees. It's easily, and most of the cameras are really around that, no matter what they claim. So that's it for now. I mean, no more details, no brands, no nothing, just my advice. If you are buying, I mean, there is Black Friday, Cyber Monday, Christmas soon, whatsoever, big sales. A lot of people are buying a lot of things, technical equipments, phones, toys, whatsoever. Please, people, be careful when you buy something which has listed either milliampere hours like power banks, or wide angle degrees like cameras and surveillance cameras, action cameras, normal cameras, even cheap smartphones maybe. Be careful. Do your research. Maybe ask people who have already bought such things what they think, what the real measurements or technical specs are, and do not only rely on the listing. I don't know why this is ongoing and is not causing any problems. I mean, Amazon can be really tough if you do bad things, but obviously it looks like you can put you can do a listing, you can activate it, have it there for years. Maybe people are even complaining, nothing happens. Yeah, I can only assume for myself why this is, or why they are not taking more action against this. I mean, consumers have to be protected, or should be protected in some way. You are working hard to get some money, and then you want to spend it on some nice things, and then you get scammed or cheated. Not a good thing. So I hope it will improve on the long term. And if you see really listings which are claiming things which are totally wrong, I think it's always a good thing to report and say, hey, this is not accurate, this is far away from the truth. Yeah, maybe it helps on the long term, I don't know. So at least I hope I was able to help you a little bit with that. If you have any questions or comments, just write to the comment section below. I'm always happy to talk about these things. And if you like the video, give me a thumbs up, subscribe my channel. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.